Hola Amigas, 'tis I, Cloyce, aka Manny Bish, over on Instagram, and today we are doing a Modelones dip powder kit unboxing review situation. So this comes with for 20 dip powders. You get 2 replacement brushes for your bottles. It comes with a buffer, a file that is 8100 grit, an ombre brush, a cuticle pusher, and I in this video I did not know what this was, but I have since found out. I thought it was cuticle oil, but I wasn't sure. Yes, it is cuticle oil. Very thick and quite nice, actually. You get your dip base, your activator. This threw me off because it says gel top, but it's just dip top. That's why I looked at the back, because I'm like, huh? But it's dip top. It just says gel top. And then you get a brush saver. And then you get all of these wonderful dip powders. Now, for this video, I knew I wanted to go in a wintry direction. So I'm going to do blues. So I'm going to use 42, 43, and 44 are the numbers off the top of them. You get some grays in this kit, a like pinky nude, some lavender purpley colors, some white shimmer, and a black. Very like diverse yet like wintry, which is pretty nice. And so yeah, this is what they sent me, and I am reading through this. I have not tried Modelones dip powder anything kit before, so this is completely new to me. So I wanted to make sure that like all the steps were the same in terms of the whole activator dip top coat situation. It does say like wait 60 seconds before going in with the second top coat of the dip top and all this stuff. So I'm going to pretty much use like the liquids the way I would use any liquids essentially. So I already have some pill base on, and I'm going to put a layer down of this dip base first, and I felt like this would also give me a good idea like what the consistency was. So it's fairly thin, but not overly thin. Like it's not too thick. It has the right kind of movability that you want, but without running into the sidewalls, which is quite nice. So I did like the consistency of these liquids. Well, of this dip base situation. We'll go along as we go along. So I'm just doing that on all 5 nails. And then I'm going to go in with the darker blue first, because I'm only going to do 1 nail with the dark blue. And y'all guessed it, of course, it is my middle finger, because we always start off with the middle finger. It's just, got teased about it at the beginning and didn't realize I was doing it, and now it's just kind of become a thing. So, you know, we get the bird out of the way right away, you know? Anywho, so I'm going to start with that finger, and that's going to be the only dark blue finger that I have for this mani. And I will say that these dips threw me off at first a little bit. So when I first dipped in, it looks really like, ooh, nice, full coverage and everything. But when I brushed off the excess, it was way sheer, more sheer than I expected it to be. Like, that's pretty sheer for the first layer. And so I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. Is this, like, I don't want to have to do too many coats of this to get it opaque. But by the second coat, everything was fine. So I don't know what kind of magic that is, because I would have thought that the second coat would have only made it just a little bit more opaque, and it still would have been a little bit transparent with how transparent it was with just the 1 coat. I didn't think 2 would be enough, but it definitely was. So I just let that sit there for a second, because I noticed that it was starting to kind of get wet. So I was like, well, I'll save that one and brush it off in a little bit. So I'm going to go on to this blue color. And I say that I let that sit there. If I needed to go back in with a third coat, I would have. But after I scrubbed off the stuff, I noticed that it wasn't bad at all. So I didn't need to. But anywho, so I'm going in with the blue, the light blue now. And I'm going to be putting this on my index finger, my thumb, and my pinky finger. And I seen some ladies that I follow on Instagram how they do their thumb like this and hold the cap and then paint their thumb. And I always struggle with, like, especially when it comes to doing stuff with my left hand on my right hand, like being able to get the steadiness for my thumb. And that actually really helped holding the lid as like a base for my thumb and painting it. That actually helps. So if you're struggling with getting your thumb done on your non-dominant hand, I suggest trying that because it did wonders, and I will now be doing that from now on. So thank you, Instagram ladies. And so I'm scrubbing that off. And this light blue wasn't as translucent as the dark blue, but it was still a little sheer. And I was like, I don't know. Also about this one. And this one as well, perfectly fine after 2 coats. Didn't need any more. So there's that. It will be just fine if you do just the 2 coats on these. No need for 3 unless you just are a person that likes to do 3. And so now I'm going to do my glitter, and we are doing this on my index finger as like the accent. And this is that like blue glitter that it's got like a little bit of dark in it and a little bit of light. Now this one I thought, oh, maybe I should have put down a layer of that light blue first before going in with the glitter, because I felt like it was still going to be a little sheer from that. Look at how pretty that baby blue is, though. After that second coat, it looks like clouds. It looks like the sky. I don't know. I really like it, though. Anywho, so I'm just getting that all up in there, and you're going to see here that I made a mistake, and I didn't wait long enough, and this dip base hadn't dried yet, so I messed it up a little bit. I just pushed it back, pressed it down, let it sit like that. That's honestly the easiest thing I can say. And like, if you were to scrubby brush something too soon, is if it's not too big of a mess, you can just push it back where it came from, flatten it out with your finger, and then just let it completely set, and then go in with your second coat. And then if you go in with clear and everything, you can usually file any like extra bulkiness away. So that's what I do. So yeah, but even with this second layer of glitter, it wasn't too sheer. So even the second layer of glitter did very well. Everything was covered nicely. Didn't have any problems with it. I am only going to encapsulate this finger, my glitter finger. Everything else I'm going to leave as is because I want to see about filing those nails down with no clear on them, just how like if the color is easily like removable with a file, because some dips, if you don't clear cap the solids even, they will start to like, you don't even have to be heavy-handed on the filing, they will just start to like, the color will start to dull and everything if you file on it. So that's why I usually clear cap everything, solid or not. But I wanted to put these to the test and see what would happen if I just went in on them. And they didn't lose anything. They were still very nice. I just am shaping my free edge a little bit. I'm also using the file that it came with, seeing just how well I like that or not. And then I am going to just lightly file the surface of that ring finger, because that is where I am going to file around my cuticles too. But I'm going to file all over the surface of that ring finger because of that clear, just to make sure that everything is as smooth as possible and shaped nicely and no bulkiness is there, because I did have that layer of clear down. So I'm just going around making sure all that is good. And then I'm going to buff all of these nails as well using the buffer that came in the box. And that is how I file and shapey my free edges. There's nothing to it really. I just file and shape my free edges. I don't know. I can get more into that if I need to, but this is just me showing you that I used everything in the box kind of thing. The buffer. I actually really like this buffer. It was quite nice and it smoothed everything out really, really well. So that was a very nice surprise. I used it for this last mani that I did. That will be the next video. But yes, I do like this buffer. Got everything all nice and smooth and pretty for me. And when we get out of this situation, I did do a snowflake situation that I didn't like, and I ended up filing off the snowflake situation on my middle finger. So just know that I did already mess it up, and we're going in for round 2. So there's that. Now I'm doing a snowflake again. So we're sticking with what we know and not trying any other things. I don't want. Yeah. We're just doing a snowflake, okay? So I'm starting off with my little V. It's coming out of the corner of my nail around my cuticle area. So I'm starting off with the little like spider web looking things. Then I'm going to connect each of those into a point in the center. And then I am going to make one like it's coming out of the side of my nail. And then I'm going to come in and do little lines coming out of the tips of those little things like so, and darken those lines that I already have going on. And that is going to be that situation on this. So yeah, see, just darkening up those lines, because even though I already had them cured, some of them were still a little sheer and I didn't like that. I wanted it to be more popping. So there's that. And then I feel like if I needed that one in the middle to be longer, I went in and I made it longer. And then this is going to be our snowflake on this finger. And this is the only nail art that I'm doing on this mani. I wanted it to be very simple, just, you know, simple as could be, wintry mani, but still like, you know, wintry. So it's got to have a snowflake. Otherwise, it's not the same. So I did that. I'm going to top coat, but at the end of the top coating, we're going to do a different situation. So I activated. I am top coping. Oh, I'm coping all right. 3 fast strokes for the first layer. Wipe off your brush before you re-enter it into the bottle. I will say these dip powders that I used, I really did like. I was iffy about them at first, but the second layer, like I said, everything went very smoothly. However, I did get dip flu after using these liquids. So either take allergy medicine before you do this if you're going to use these liquids, or use the dip powders and not the liquids, because I did suffer for a few days because I did not take allergy medicine beforehand as an experiment to see just how bad my dip flu would be, and I did suffer for about 2 to 3 days after doing this mani from dip flu. So yes, be careful of that. Now you'll see that I did skip my middle finger, and I did that on purpose. I am going to open up this bottle really quick, do the final layer, and before it dries, I'm going to sprinkle on some of this clear, white, silver, sparkly situation here to kind of give the more essence of like snowfall kind of thing. So we've got our snowflake, and then we've got snowfall. I did it like this because I did want it to be a little bit textured feeling. So, you know, you could have done this beforehand and then encapsulated it and it wouldn't have been textured feeling. I wanted it like that, so I waited until the very end. And so that is my mani. Also, I will note that at first this was perfect, and after a few days of wearing this, I did not like the way the top coat ended up looking. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, bitches!